Hey guys, I'm outside enjoying the great outdoors in my backyard. This machine is making a lot of noise. This is going to be a quick scope because I just recorded on my other, I don't know what you call it, scope channel, whatever, his Garden Naturals. Just want to drop a few encouraging tips. I don't want to say tips, I'll say line. Hey, so today I just want to talk quickly about um, being pushed towards your purpose, towards the purpose that God has for you. I don't like to say me, myself, and I, because I do believe in a God. But I believe He uses people, and those people could be your friends and your family. But I just want to deal with allowing others to be accountable to you. Actually, you be accountable to them, or they can be accountable to you. Assigning other people is like your life coaches, those who will help you go towards your goal. Won't let you give up. They determined to see you make it, not let you fail. And even if you make some mistakes and fail on the way, you're still doing it on the way, moving forward, going up, not going down, not letting you get stuck in your present situation or because of some event. So we're going to talk about changing your perspective, the way you view and the way you see things, because that has a lot to do with you moving forward. If you view every situation negative, if you have a pessimistic mentality and you just woe is me and this is take obstacles as a closed door and you don't change your perspective and see no one know what this door closed but another door is going to open. You start saying things in the positive, so you can attract opportunities and positive people around you. But when you're constantly negative, then you start to attract negativity around you. Doesn't feel good, promise you. But before I get into today's topic of being pushed, I was showing my book called Let Me Out. This book, I've got so many testimonies on this book, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Inspire people to move forward, to overcome obstacles, to break down barriers, walls, to move forward in spite of um, examining yourself, seeing what's inside of you, getting to know yourself. And when you spend time alone, I'm telling you, this is the truth. This is a fact. When you spend time alone and you're less distracted, you get to know yourself. You get to find out things out inside of you. You get to see the good and the bad. I don't even know if you can see me. This light, the sun is coming out, which is awesome. But woo, it's bright. You get to find out. You get to fall in love with. Well, hopefully, you get to fall in love with yourself because you have to build. That's dealing with the self-esteem issue right there. But you get to find out your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your weaknesses. I found out I knew I liked to write when I was a little girl, but when I started writing this book, the revelation came to me that I love writing. And I think I'm more comfortable writing than I am speaking, honestly. When I'm writing, a lot start to pour out of me. Sometimes when I'm expressing myself, it don't always come out the way I want it to. I'm sure some of you have experienced that. But when I write, it's like I flow. I don't have to think about things so hard. They just come out. I'm like, wow, that was inside of me. I shocked my own self. And so that's what I'm saying. You get to find out more about yourself. And it has nothing to do with being arrogant or conceited. It's a difference between being arrogant, conceited, and confident. It's all right to say, I'm good at writing. That's nothing arrogant or conceited about that. You just know who you are. You are a writer. That's one facet of you. Can have so many dimensions of yourself. But that's one for me. I love writing. I just start to flow. I just get into it and boom, and ideas start to come. When you're gifted and talented at something, it's not hard for you to do because it's something that's already in you. But see, these are the things you find out when you spend time by yourself. There's no distractions. You sit and think. But you got to deal with those emotional issues. Because if you have a lot of emotional issues, you sit there and think about all the wrong stuff, all the negative stuff, and then your mind went somewhere else, and that was not the purpose of being by yourself and getting to know yourself. But Let Me Out also deals with those things that are lying dormant within you, that you have inside of you, that you probably haven't even tapped into yet to bring out of you. I talked about on the other scope how during the time of what I don't want to call it, we can say recession, we had the economic crises, and a lot of people were going through losing their jobs, a decrease in salary. It affected me and my job as well, and a decrease in salary. And I said, there got to be something else that I can do And I just prayed. I said, God, use what's in my hands. What else is in me? And he reminded me of when I was a little girl, how I always wanted to, create things, how creative I was. For one of them, I used to love to write. I used to make books and write them. I used to take strings. It could be a shoestring, anything. Take the loose leaf paper. I would write my book and put the strings through the holes and make myself a book. But it just showed the passion that I had for writing and my imagination. And he brought me back to that. Because I did a lot of thinking during that time, because I'm sitting there planning. I got to feed my daughter. I got to keep a roof over my head. Okay, there got to be something else I can do. Like the older people used to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's something, got to be something else. And you can't depend on your job as your source and your provider anyway, because you can lose, that can come and go. So I want to create my own economy. How about that? So I went back to writing, because I started hearing in my spirit, this is the time to start writing. Publish that book. Get that book out. I have been writing this book from 2001. So 2000, I think it was 2011, 2012, I published it, or the end of 2011. I finally got it out there in the atmosphere for others to be blessed and inspired by it, and it was a blessing. The other thing was I started my own line of products, because I'm also a licensed cosmetologist, and I had started this journey of finding out how to create my own natural skin and hair products when my daughter was a baby, and now she's 21 years old. And I went back to that. I'm like, this is the perfect time to make my products. Nothing else going on but the rent. And I did that. My friends, my clients, because I was doing hair, I always did hair on the side. I just have a few clients. I worked at the salon part time, and I have clients that I'm a mobile stylist. So they would come to my house, and sometimes I would go to my client's house and do their hair. So of course they become my first testers, and love the product. The first batch was awesome. It was great. So I started supplementing my income. But then it brought back that desire to create. Because I understand, even in that time of being by myself, that I'm an inventor. I like to create things. I'm a visionary again. Okay, but back to today's topic, push, God push, or push me. Whoever your support team is, if you have a support team, if you don't, because we have social media now, find some meetup groups, find some avenues, positive format, not format, yeah, positive formats, positive platforms, communities that you can align yourself with, who can help you get to your goal. These are people who are involved in your pushing process to get to achieve your goal. I did cover a few points I do want to cover that I highlighted. I have a chapter in the book called Push God Push, because for me, God was my main pusher. you know. But I had some wonderful friends and family members who also saw my dreams and visions and things that I would speak about all the time. I don't know if they all believe me or not, but I believe at some point I was going, something great was in me and it's going to come out of me. You have to believe it if nobody else believe it. Be your own cheerleader. But you do need other people to push you. But just a quick little few lines from my book. In the chapter 14, push. I realize that I need God to push me to my destiny, because sometimes I feel like I don't have the strength to do some things. Everything that I'm going to accomplish will be a result of His strength and not mine, because I know that I can't do all this by myself. I need greater power to do what I need to do. And I had become naked before Him, naked, period. And when I'm saying naked, I'm talking about being humble enough to be willing to start from scratch, being open to others, being a blessing to you, helping you. When I talked about earlier, aligning yourself with people who are already doing, or who have been successful doing something that you're trying to do, or a goal that you're trying to reach. Surround yourself by those individuals. Be open, be naked. And what I mean by that is be teachable, because we don't know everything. Everybody who's done something and succeed at it had some kind of help, some kind of way, whether it came through a book, still, that was through somebody, uh, attending a webinar, seminar, people in their family may be doing it, whoever. Those were they pushers. And we need those individuals. So, like I said, mine's with friends and family members. In my church, so many people became my pushers, if you will. So that point deals with assigning others who can keep you accountable to your goal. bottom line, like life coaches. You know, those who you've shared your desires with and your goals with, allow them to be the individuals to push you towards the goal. Like I said, just be discerning of who's for you, who's against you. Next point I want to make, I make this point already. Being humble enough to do so, to do these things, because you don't know everything. Be open to learning. Be open to mistakes and failures. It's all part of the process, the pushing process. Next point I want to make is change your perspective. I talked about it a little bit. The way you see things. Example, don't view all closed doors as the end all and this is it and why move forward. Change your perspective and say, you know what? Why that door closes, another door opens. And it may be a better door because you may be thinking this is the way, you limit yourself to this is the way it has to go. But if you're not open, you not open yourself up to another door that's probably better and maybe even be easier for you. So change the way you think about things. In psychology, we call it cognitive behavior. If you can change your client's view of things, then you can change the behavior. Christianity also teaches that there's a renewing of the mind. When you have a renewing of the mind, then you transform. So that means your behavior transform, the way you view things transform, and keep in mind that a lot of times your view has been influenced by your experience and the things that you have been through, even starting from a little child. So it's good to be mindful of that. So when you do sit and have those moments of no distraction and you get to know yourself, you get to find out more about, wow, what's hindering me? Because it could be your perspective, the way you perceive things. And you don't want to have that pessimistic personality. Again, a narcissistic, but woe is me and everything is wrong. Or the problems is with everybody else, but nothing is wrong with you. You need to do a self-examination. That's being humble. Because all of us got some issues. Some of us have overcome and we don't allow ourselves to be crippled by our issues of fear or insecurities, and others are imprisoned by those same things. Next point, allow somebody again to check you in a positive way. For example, like I said in my other scope, you can be writing a book and maybe you're supposed to submit a few chapters of your book, and you have someone to call you or text you or email you or call, however, and say, hey, girl, did you send in those copies of your book to the publisher? You need that sometime because, again, you live long enough, life hits. Sometimes you start feeling weary and discouraged. And you need, at that very moment, is when you need somebody to say, girl, come on, let's do this. If I got to do it with you. And what's so awesome about life? Allow others to do that for you, and you become a pusher for somebody else. Help them achieve their goals and their dreams. Last point, get tired of the pattern. I don't know about you, but there was times where I might have seen a pattern in my life I didn't like why do I keep facing? And keep in mind that I'm not saying everything is your fault. There's some things that's out of your control. Again, I talked about the economy. I have no control over if my company wants to merge with another company and they have to downsize or lay off some people. I've been there where I had to get laid off because money wasn't there, funding wasn't there. So now it's like, wow, okay, I had to start thinking about what can I do next. This is an opportunity. So my perspective and the way I perceived it made a big difference in my life. So I'm telling you something that I've done and been through myself. But get tired. But when I talk about patterns, you can have a pattern. People do this a lot in relationships. They're still broken and not healed. It may be a childhood issue, whatever. The bottom line is that they keep ending up in the same type of relationship. They're not doing that self-examination, so they can't move forward even in creating or forming healthy relationships. And they have to take a step back. Why do I keep attracting these type of people in my life? Hello, there may be something in you that's individual. My phone ringing, everything going up while I'm doing my scoping. So examine that, because you can be your own blessing blocker, your own door blocker, and then when you can move those things away, I talked about it yesterday, deleting or letting go and moving to the side, you may find that door open now because you've let go of some things. So we're talking about moving forward. So this is all the pushing process. Push yourself, but like I said, it's good to have other people who will push you as well. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. I'm getting go off. I actually have 2 clients today. Do some life coaching, some counseling, and then I'll be good to go this evening. I'll see you again. You have a great day, and remember, push into your purpose.